Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're heading over to the coastal town of Puri in Odisha, India, to unpack a truly breathtaking 12th century marvel. We're talking about the Jagannath Temple. And, this isn't just a building. It's a living, breathing tradition that's literally wrapped in some of the most fascinating enigmas on the planet. To really grasp its cultural and physical weight, we're going to break down both the stationary mysteries of the temple itself, things that completely baffle modern science, and the massive, kinetic energy of its world-famous chariot festival. Okay, so here's a question to kind of set the stage for our journey. Can a 12th century temple actually defy the laws of physics? I mean, it sounds like the setup for a sci-fi movie, right? But for the millions of people who visit this site every year, and for the researchers who've studied it, the answer really isn't a simple no. As we dive into this, we're going to look at specific, documented phenomena that happen at this temple every single day. Things that directly challenge our modern understanding of aerodynamics, thermodynamics, and just the natural elements in general. Because the sheer volume of impossibilities stacking up in this one location it's just staggering. First off, completely contrary to the natural laws of wind, the temple flag actually flutters in the exact opposite direction of the breeze. And maintaining that flag is no easy feat. Every single day, a temple priest scales the 214-foot structure without any modern protective gear, mind you, just to change it. Local legend says that if this ritual is missed even once, the temple would be forced to close for 18 years. Then you have an absolute absence of shadows. No matter where the sun is in the sky, the main temple casts no shadow at any time of day. And consider the coastal location, right? Naturally, a sea breeze blows from the sea to the land during the day and reverses at night. Well, here in Puri, it does the exact opposite. It blows from land to sea during the day and sea to land at night. And perhaps most famously of all, no birds and no planes ever cross the airspace directly above the main temple tower. And as if the visual and atmospheric puzzles aren't enough, there is also this incredible auditory phenomenon. I want you to imagine walking up to the temple. You're right on the coast, so obviously you can clearly hear the roaring sound of the ocean waves crashing nearby. But the exact moment you take a step through the main entrance, which is known as the Singhadwara, or Lion Gate, that sound completely vanishes. It isn't muffled, it literally disappears. Now, according to local belief, this profound silence is the fulfillment of a divine wish for peace by Subhadra Mai. But to this day, no modern acoustic engineer can fully explain this sudden, absolute muting of the ocean. So this mystery extends right up into the sky. How on earth do we explain the fact that no birds fly over the temple? Well, we kind of have to look at this through two different lenses. On the spiritual side, devotees attribute this to the Sudarshan Chakra resting at the very top. It's this massive one-ton wheel that, miraculously, looks identical from every single angle. It's believed to emit a really powerful spiritual aura that wards off creatures. Plus, it's said that Garuda, the celestial eagle, provides invisible protection over the airspace. But on the scientific side, analysts point to the unique Kalinga architecture. Standing 214 feet tall, the specific shape of the temple might naturally create strong air currents or wind tunnels that birds just instinctively avoid. On top of that, the smooth stone construction lacks horizontal ledges, meaning there are basically zero nesting spaces. It is just this fascinating intersection where ancient architectural brilliance meets deep, unwavering faith. Now, the physical anomalies don't stop at the architecture. They actually go right into the temple kitchens. Inside, thousands of priests collaborate to prepare the Abhada Mahaprasadam, a sacred feast made up of 56 specific delicacies. They cook this massive meal using traditional firewood. But here's the puzzle. They stack 7 earthen pots on top of each other over the fire. Basic thermodynamics tells us the bottom pot should cook first, right? I mean, it's closest to the heat. Yet somehow the top pot finishes first, followed sequentially all the way down to the bottom. It is a daily culinary riddle that would make any modern chef or physicist pull their hair out. But the really crucial takeaway here is that while the temple itself is this stationary monument holding all these quiet, daily mysteries, the energy of Puri doesn't just stay trapped inside those walls. It spills out into the streets in a massive, dynamic explosion of devotion. Section 1. The Unstoppable Juggernaut. Before we look at the festival itself, I want to share a brilliant little piece of linguistic history with you. The English word juggernaut, the word we use to describe a massive, unstoppable force, didn't just appear out of nowhere. It is actually a direct phonetic descendant of Jagannath.
When early British observers first saw these towering, multi-story wooden chariots rolling down the streets of Puri, surrounded by an absolute ocean of devotees pulling them with massive ropes, they were so awestruck by this unstoppable momentum that the name of the deity became the literal definition of an unstoppable force in the English language. How cool is that? Because this isn't just a parade, it is an incredible feat of human coordination. The sheer scale of the chariot structure towering above the crowd is just wow. It's brilliantly decorated, and you can practically feel the density and the vibrant reality of all those devotees gathered around it. These enormous chariots carry the deities, Lord Jagannath, his brother Balabhadra, and his sister Subhadra, out of the temple for their annual journey. It's a highly kinetic, brightly colored testament to living history. But moving these massive wooden structures isn't just about raw manpower. It's a highly choreographed event that's deeply rooted in tradition and some very specific human ceremonies.
Section 2, Rituals of the Chariot.
So, if you're planning to witness this, maybe looking ahead to the festival on July 16, 2026, there's a very clear chronological flow you'll want to understand. The event basically unfolds in 3 main steps. Step 1 is the Pahandi Bijay. This happens before the chariots even move. The temple priests carry the heavy wooden deities from the temple sanctum out to the chariots in this very specific, slow swing motion accompanied by intense chanting and music. Step 2 is the Charapahara, which is a really fascinating social ritual we'll look at closer in just a second. And step 3 is the rope pulling. This is where ordinary devotees gather at the thick ropes attached to each chariot and, in these massive coordinated bursts, physically pull the vehicles 3 kilometers down the Grand Road toward the Gundicha Temple.
Actually, let's pause on step 2 for a moment, the Charapahara, because the symbolism here is incredibly powerful. Once the deities are safely placed on the chariots, Puri's traditional royal ruler steps forward. But he doesn't just sit on a fancy throne to watch. Instead, he takes a golden broom and physically sweeps the area around each chariot. It's this profound demonstration of equality, basically reminding everyone that before the divine, all societal hierarchies just flatline. Even a person of the absolute highest royal status serves the deities without any special privilege. It is a really grounding, unifying moment right before the massive physical effort of the rope pulling begins. Finally, after the deities complete their stay at the Gundicha Temple and make their return journey, the festival culminates in a breathtaking grand finale.
Section 3. The Golden Splendor.
Okay, let that number sink in for a second. 200. The Sunabesha is the grand ritual where the deities, who are still seated on their chariots outside the Lion's Gate, are adorned in gold. And I am not talking about a few nice gold necklaces here. We are talking about an estimated 200 kilograms of handcrafted gold ornaments. Golden crowns, hands, feet, intricate jewelry that signifies cosmic power. It completely transforms the deities into this radiant spectacle that's widely considered one of the most opulent religious adornments anywhere in the world. So where did this staggering display of wealth actually come from? While the tradition traces its origins all the way back to the 15th century CE during the reign of King Kapilendra Deva of the Gajapati dynasty. After returning victorious from conquering southern kingdoms, he brought back immense wealth and dedicated a huge portion of those treasures directly to Lord Jagannath. The king ordered the creation of these ornaments to signify that the deities were not just spiritual guides, but the absolute supreme rulers of the universe. Today, getting a glimpse or darshan of the Lord in this golden attire is believed by millions to grant immense spiritual merit, turning the entire town of Puri into a celestial, glittering celebration. Which brings us to the end of our journey today, leaving us with one final, really lingering thought. As we look at the wind-defying flags, the silent oceans, the pots that mysteriously cook from the top down, and those massive 12th century chariots that literally gave us the word juggernaut, we have to ask ourselves, are all these phenomena the product of some lost, brilliant ancient engineering that we just haven't decoded yet? Or are we truly looking at the hand of divine intervention? Whether you view the Jagannath Temple through the lens of science or the lens of faith, its ability to inspire absolute awe is undeniable. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep asking questions and keep exploring all the incredible mysteries our world has to offer.